Hello and welcome to the Queensland Murray Rugby League Carnival for 2024. I'm Warren Boland and with me is Ray Nagus, and we're looking forward to 3 days of action immediately in the senior men and women division, and then next week in the junior carnival. But right now, warming up on a hot day here at Brendale at the South Pines Sporting Complex. The teams are already breaking into a sweat as they come onto the field. And Ray, good to have you with us and looking forward to all the action.
Good morning, Warren. Hello, everybody. Welcome again to another year of the QMC 2024. As Warren said, it's going to be an absolute scorcher here today. We're already sweating up here. Looking forward to this first clash here down on Field 3 between the John Kemp Memorial side and Coastal Blacks.
And making their way onto the field now in the mainly blue colour, it's the Coastal Blacks. And just quickly running through the team, so the big squads, 1 to 25, but Zach Miles, number 1, Brett Kelly, number 2, then William Baker, Kwan Awang, Fred Pitt, Jerome Haynes, Corey McGrady, Barry Tapau, Harry Freeburn, Brodie Green, Justin Shillingsworth, Matty Lyons, Josh Toole, Mick Taylor, Marcus Spence, Trent Payne, Michael Ware, Ben Gunn, Barry Carr, Trevor Bolt, Terence Casey, Jira Breck, Bailey Butler and William Hammond. And you'll notice a number of players in the list who play in the Queensland Cup, the Host Plus Cup. Now, making their way out into the field in their colours, which remind me a little bit of the old Penrith jerseys.
That's right.
There's green and there's red, there's black and there's yellow. There's plenty of colour. It's the John Kemp Memorial men's team. And from 1 through to 25, we've got Heath Smith, Jacob Kemp, Hayden Kemp, Lachlan Bly, Regan Orlando, Christian Bond, Gerara Semple, Jalen Bond, Patrick Alberts, Ali Ketchell, Jack Lang, Jacob Sharapak, Jaden Kemp, Brock Compton, John Blair, Jacob Short, Hayden Swan, Jordan Ayrton, Dylan Hawego, Blake Thompson, Mark Waters, Joshua Bond. And there's the kickoff. Completing the team, Mark Waters, Joshua Bond, Jacoby Shaw, Blake Sagas and Calvin Swan. And underway from the boot of the Coastal Sharks. They are running from left to right as we look at the field here from the South Pine Complex. Field 3, there's 5 fields in action today. And we can expect early on the players to be blowing a few cobwebs out. But in the warm-up, both looked very organised, Ray.
Yeah, as we see a very strong hit there. Show some great intent there. That's the hooker there, Harry Freeburn, really driving with the shoulder there early on.
So just short of halfway with the John Kemp Memorial kicking downfield. Running into the sun in the first half John Kemp Memorial. And well taken at the back. And now Zach Miles is in the number 1 jersey, and Zach Miles played fullback for the Sunshine Coast in their run through to the finals of the Queensland Cup. And the first penalty of the match goes to the Coastal Blacks.
Yeah, so John Kemp Memorial, got through their first set of 6, which was great. Sometimes you get a few nerves and you don't quite get that happening. But unfortunately for them, they've given away a penalty early here, and the Coastal Blacks go on the attack.
So it's William Baker having a run. Brought down just 10 metres out. Field's in immaculate condition. And the good shift left to right. Can they get the overlap here? Streaking for the corner and they're in. And that's Kwan Awang scoring for the Coastal Blacks. Lovely passing left to right. And Awang dashed into the corner unopposed in the end.
Yeah, look, just a pretty simple play there. Just used the numbers and went through the hands and got on the outside there early. John Kemp Memorial side, great try. You want to do the really simple stuff here early, Warren. Like I said, it's very, very hot. So, they didn't even go through the middle there. They just let the ball go.
Yeah, on the back of the penalty, which put them in good position. Just one hit up, really, from William Baker, and then they spread it wide and outflanked the opposition. So an early blow there suffered by John Kemp Memorial, come from out Ipswich way. But the Coastal Blacks looking sharp early. So the kick, it's a difficult one, but at least it's being taken in the shade.
Yeah, the only little bit of shade on the field, and he's found it.
I think he took it a little bit wider to get into the shade.
That's right. I think the message is just keep scoring him out wide, and I'll do my best to kick him. He's not too worried if he gets any under the sticks today.
So Kwan Awang on the left wing, scoring for the Coastal Blacks first up. And from a difficult angle, hits it well. And the touch judges had a close look at it, but no goal, just missed to the left. So 4 points to 0 in favour of the Coastal Blacks in the first couple of minutes here. First game of the Queensland Murray Carnival for 2024.
Sizable difference there as well in the plays. I can, just as I cast my eye over the two sides here, hopefully that won't play too much of a factor. Hopefully the teams will be fairly even for this game.
Yeah, and as you say it, I look and you're right, I presume you're saying the Coastal Blacks look a bit bigger and taller, don't they?
Yeah, they just look a little bit taller than the Kemp Memorial side.
Harry Freeburn wearing the number 9 jersey for the Coastal Blacks. Played for the Northern Pride in last week's preliminary final of the Q Cup. And straight up the middle and they make the break. Great run there, straight through to halfway off the kickoff. Big charge for the Coastal Blacks.
Yeah, that was Matty Lyons there, the 12. Here they go wide again.
And away goes Brian Kelly. And he's going to go all the way.
Yeah,
Brett Kelly, I should say.
Yeah.
All the way, Brett Kelly. Great run. So the Coastal Blacks, it's a bit early to see a pattern, but one really strong hit up, followed by a quick shift this time to the right. And Brett Kelly down the right wing scores, again, getting on the outside and just showing what good speed he's got.
Yeah, I think looks like they've shown plenty of intent just to hit the edges here early, run the defence around, and they've come up trumps here again. Out wide, the winger streaking away there. No shade on this side of the field, unfortunately for the kicker.
I must say, I looked down quickly and called it Brian Kelly. I thought, gee, one of the Titans is on the field for a moment. But Brett Kelly just as fast as Brian.
That's right. Yeah, I had a quick look down as well. I thought, is it really Brian? Yeah, I saw it was Brett. So
yeah.
But as you say there, Warren, before, there are some noticeable names that Tomcat's brought to this carnival. The coach Tomcat for the Coastal Blacks this year, as you've already mentioned, Zach Miles there. I've seen Kana Wang a few times as well in different carnivals. He's pretty handy. Haven't seen too much yet of Corey McGrady. I know he's very handy as well, the halfback.
And Kwana Wang takes the conversion and puts it straight between the posts, and it's a 10-0 lead in favour of the Coastal Blacks. So impressive start for them. And, well, when you think about it, the John Kemp Memorial started the game with a good set, got to their kick, but haven't had the ball since.
Yeah, sometimes it goes like that in these carnival situations, especially, and you also not as much time as well, so you kind of want to hold the ball as much as you can or get as much possession as you can.
Yeah, having the ball certainly beats doing a lot of tackling and going back and forth 10 metres.
Yeah.
Here comes a big charge as well. So the Coastal Blacks quickly on the front foot from the kickoff and quick play the ball, quick dummy half work, and now some elusive running up to halfway. Tackle there by Jaden Kemp. Oh, and on the burst, we're going to ground, Marcus Spence. And forward pass on its way to William Baker there at right centre, but just called forward, but the Coastal Blacks looking very sharp.
Yeah, they are, and here's John Kemp Memorial's chance now to show us what they got in attack. We see some tired bodies there. Like I say, extremely hot here this morning. I think plenty of interchanges is on the cards here today.
Yeah, unlimited interchange at the QMC. and 25-minute halves with 5 minutes off for half-time, except for the grand final, which is on Sunday afternoon.
Yep.
It's 30-minute halves in the men's.
Ooh.
And there's the first interchange being made as a penalty goes against the Coastal Blacks. And the call is high tackle, but just going back somewhat injured is Jerome Haynes. He took a bit of a hit in the action there, even though it was John Kemp Memorial got the penalty.
That's right. The new player on the field is Jalen Bond, number 8 for Kemp Memorial side.
And now Blake Thompson comes on for John Kemp Memorial, and he's a hulking size too.
Yeah,
look out for him in a minute.
Yeah, they needed a bit of size out there, and here he comes.
So now John Kemp with a chance inside the opposition half.
Oh, no, he's just knocked it on there.
Christian Bond feeding the pass out, but down it goes. So that's frustrating for Kemp Memorial.
Yeah, I think it was a solid tackle underneath there by Freeborn. Am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah, Freeborn.
Oh, Freeborn, yeah.
Was it Harry? Yeah.
Yeah, Harry, yeah.
He played 5'8" for the Northern Pride, but he usually plays hooker.
Yeah.
So expect to see him at a dummy half. In fact, I'm pretty sure last weekend in the Q Cup, here's a chance as they've made the break from the scrum. Tremendous break downfield. This is Zach Miles. Look at the speed. Still stepping and going, and finds another opening. He could go all the way. This is the try of the tournament already. Brilliant try by Zach Miles. What an outstanding run. The sheer speed, the change of direction. He kept them guessing every moment. They thought they had him to the left. They thought they had him to the right, and he was away. Zach Miles couldn't have been more impressive scoring that try for the Coastal Blacks.
Yeah, sensational try. There's that man, Corey McGrady, that I was talking about before. Just went to the defensive line there and just popped a little beautiful ball and put Zach Miles in some space. And didn't he show some great footwork for about 70 metres, just weaving his way in and out of the Kemp Memorial defence. And unfortunately for the kicker, he scored on the other side of the field again. He's got to kick it in the no shade side.
But that was beautiful to watch.
Oh yeah,
beautiful. Zach Miles, and I mean his form this season has been very good in the Q Cup. But you mentioned Corey McGrady wearing the number 7 jersey for the Coastal Blacks. Now he was playing for the Sunshine Coast team in the Q Cup. Oh no, was it Toowoomba? Toowoomba the year before.
Yeah, he's down from Toowoomba. I think in the local comp he plays for Highfields, I think, up there.
Right.
But yeah, great player, has been for many, many years.
So here's Kwan Awang from a similar position, maybe a little bit closer than his last one, which he got. And he's on target again, flags in the air. So they've established a good lead here, 16 points to 0 to the Coastal Blacks over John Kemp Memorial.
I remember Khan last year, he had the old braids, the dreadlocks going on there for a while. That was the haircut he had, and he's gone with the old afro here today, the miniature size afro. Hey?
He's a dedicated follower of fashion.
He must have known it was going to be pretty hot, so he thought he'd get the haircut accordingly. Who did I see run on there before? Young Jacob Short is now on for the Memorial side, as they made a couple of interchanges.
And the steamrolling run, Jaden Kemp went down under that tackle, trying to make the tackle. The number 13 sprints back to the 10 metre. That's the hard part of the game.
Yep.
And now they're shifting it to the left-hand side, trying their luck, and they're coming at them in numbers, but a good tackle made on the far side. I think it was
another forward pass there, Warren.
Right, well, the second forward pass of this first half. I think it was Regan Orlando on the right wing position there for John Kemp. He had numbers coming at him. He was backing off, trying to just hope that the cover defence would come and join him in numbers, and eventually they got there, but the forward pass helped.
Yeah, look, when you're on the wing and you've got about 3 blokes running at you at once, it's a daunting thing to see that coming at you. So he was definitely holding and waiting for his defence to come across and help, that's for sure.
So this scrum packing 40 metres out. And John Kemp in possession. Let's see if they can get on the scoreboard here. Dummy half is Mark Waters. Lifting tackle, but okay. Not over the horizontal, according to the referee. And some handiwork here from Christian Bond. Little dummy and go. So they've got a good backline set here. Can they use it? Beautiful pass. Lovely ball there from Jerra Semple. And running onto it but knocked over was Jack Lang. Now they keep it going. Kick in and there's a try. Brilliant.
Oh, beautiful.
Following through, Jacob Kemp scores for the John Kemp Memorial. What an exciting play that was. What a good set they put together. Finally getting a bit of possession in the opposition half and looking the part, the John Kemp Memorial. So at 16-0, we started to think the Coastal Blacks were going to possibly run away with it. But if John Kemp get more ball like that, well, they're going to come back with more tries.
Yeah, 100%. It's great to see them with a little bit of possession. And they get a great try in the corner. I tell you what, that was a very, very good grubber kick there. You know, and he only had a small area to work with as well there, so it was pinpoint accuracy. And the winger knew it was on. He hit the afterburners to make sure he got it before it went out.
And that was a lovely play, just one tackle earlier when Christian Bond hit Jack Lang and he pierced the defence and he was rampaging. And that certainly disrupted the defence. They weren't cool, calm and collected when they had to face that grubber kick.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he looks like a likely type there, Bond. Playing 5'8" here for the Memorial side here today.
So here's Jaden Kemp attempting the conversion. It looks good. Oh, off the upright. Very well, you can't get much closer.
No.
16-4 the score in favour of the Coastal Blacks over the John Kemp Memorial team.
Yeah, it's great to see them hit back.
Yeah, that'll give them heart now. I'll be feeling much more confident about
Well, they kept it simple like the Coastal Blacks did. You know, they went up the middle for a couple and then they hit the edges and, paid off dividends.
So back to halfway and a high kick-off. And looking into the sun, not that easy, but well taken. And heavy defence comes in. Thanks for coming. Leading the way there, Marcus Spence. And with a bit of help from William Baker. 4 men in the tackle. So stuck on their own 10-metre line here, the John Kemp Memorial. Enthusiastic defence coming in numbers again. 3 men in the tackle. Slow him down. Now slow play the ball. Shifting it a little bit wider here again. Christian Bond in the headgear there. He just making them guess with a bit of a dummy and a bit of a shimmy. Oh, contact. Contact. Was that Jerome Haynes, the tackler? Couldn't quite pick it up.
Yeah, I didn't pick the number up of the jersey there, but it was very strong contact.
Jaden Kemp with the kick. And the danger bells need to be ringing when Zach Miles gets the ball in his hand, and here he goes again. Breaks away from tackles. Need to have a good kick chase on him.
Yeah.
Because that Miles run starting the set at the halfway. Fred Pitt goes out a dummy half with a run.
Yeah, I remember Fred from last year. He was a very handy winger. Oh, they've gone straight through here.
It's William Baker.
William Baker, is it?
Yeah, just charges straight through the middle. He wanted a piece of the action. Coming into the middle from the right centre position and just taking them on and busting through tackles. William Baker, that was a little bit too easy, but Coastal Blacks, again, impressive. William Baker makes it 20 points to 4.
Yeah, look, an awesome run there from Fred Pitt. He came in off his wing looking for work. And strong run through the middle there. Quick play the ball. And as we see there, Baker benefited from the quick play the ball there, and he just went through, as you said, Warren, just a little bit too easy. As the clock winds down here for the first half, Coastal Blacks with another try.
So Kwan Awang to attempt the conversion. Other side of the post this time, but the last two from the right-hand side, as we look at it, pretty convincing, and you'd back him in to kick this as well. And we have to keep an eye out for the best 3 players in the game. 3, 2, 1 points will be awarded in each game, and obviously overall there's going to be awards for the best players in the tournament. So there's a few contenders already.
Yeah, look, I think, there's already a few contenders in this match.
Awang moves in, and that's straight between the posts and extends the lead now to 22 to 4 in favour of the Coastal Blacks.
Yeah, hopefully, the wind in the sails hasn't gone out of the Kemp Memorial side there. Hopefully they can just keep grinding this first half out. As I'm looking at the players and how they're really, really sweating up a storm here, and
they're not running back to halfway.
No, they're definitely not, and understandably so.
There's no wind at all at the moment.
Absolutely not. No, we're not. Well, last year we were at Redcliffe, so there was a breeze there, but we're over here at.
This is close to the sideline. Oh, in fact, it turns out to be a brilliant kick-off, but a brilliant catch as well. Thought it might have been going out on the full.
Yeah, nice little defence there from the halfback.
It's a defender down, injured after making that tackle too. Trainers on their way. So they're tackling a man down here, John Kemp. And they're signalling to the referee that he'll have to stop the match. Here's a chance, though, down the wing if they get the ball out in the direction of Kelly. The referee hasn't seen the call from the trainer. He's got his hand in the air. And a good run here from Corey McGrady. McGrady's still going. Long passes a beauty. Quickly through the hands of Shillingsworth. And away they go again. I think that's Kwan down the left side. Player injured still. A lot of momentum here with the Coastal Blacks. The referee hasn't heard the call from the trainer. Kick out wide. Here's a chance. Brilliantly taken back inside, and it's try time again. Oh, it's not. It's offside in front of the kicker is the call from the referee. So a third try opportunity goes begging for the Coastal Blacks, but brilliant to watch. Now the referee needs, the touch judge needs to draw attention to the injury. Oh, the player's back on his feet now, the John Kemp player, so it's okay. So he's sitting on the sideline, and I think he's going to be okay, but it could be difficult to say what the injury was, but in the end, play went on and no try was scored. But now they've got to come out of their own 20, John Kemp Memorial, with some work to do.
Yeah, hopefully they can just get through a set of 6 here, get to a kick. As another penalty comes the Memorial's way.
Jacob Sherpak draws the penalty with a burrowing run. He came at them and gets the penalty. And finding touch near halfway. And I noticed the touch judge in front of us, he hasn't got a cap on. if he's got to do 4 or 5 matches today, I'd recommend a hat.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Oh.
Almost obstruction, but he cut back inside just in time there, Jack Lang.
Plenty of intent today from the Coastal Blacks early on in the defence.
There certainly has been.
Most of their tackles have been pretty jolting and forcing the players back, as we see another one there.
Brock Crompton going across field. And intercept, and away they go. Coastal Blacks all the way from halfway and streaking down field. It is Kwan Awang. He goes in for his second try, and he does run for the shade. Tell me he could have gone for the post if he wanted to.
And he dead set could have went under the post. He said, that'll do me. I've had 5 or 6 out here, so I need to get back to the shade.
Yeah, that pass thrown on the right edge of the ruck for John Kemp, and Kwan Awang anticipated brilliantly and plucked it out of the air, and away he went. So he's piling on the points for his team. Awang in again, and it's now 26-4. Kick to come from the shadows.
From the shadows, yes. So as we see there, the bruising defence there from the Coastal Blacks force the turnover again, and Coastal Blacks pick it up, and away they go. One thing I noticed about the Coastal Blacks, they're really, really good at exploiting the edges. They don't seem to be too worried about going up the middle too much at the moment. The forwards, haven't really been asked to go through the middle. The likes of McGrady and that are just looking straight out wide and passing it to the edges, and the speed men are finishing it all off, which I guess is what you really want.
Well, I think partly they've identified that there's a weakness there, but more to the point, I think they know they've got an asset on the wings out wide. They've got speed to burn. Now, Awang from the touch line and misses. But the score extends to 26 points to 4, and that's 4 from 6 3 from 6, I think. 4 from 6 for a one.
Yeah, it'd be like having, like a Hammer or somebody like that in your side. You just know you got the speed there at your arsenal, and just get it to that player or those sets of players. Like I mentioned before, Fred Pitt, very, very handy winger. He comes in a lot looking for the hard yards, and but that time it was Wang's time to score. But here we go again, Memorial for another kickoff.
I think Memorial will be looking forward to half time right now. Oh, gee, one of the players jumped the gun on the kick to out here on the wing, but referee didn't catch it.
Here we go.
Yeah, bouncing ball, awkward, and Coastal Blacks right on their own line in the end. And now bustling run from Barry Carr. And they keep it coming again. Oh, a lot of momentum here for the Coastal Blacks, just cutting away from the ruck and finding space. And lovely inside ball there.
Another forward pass.
Corey McGrady, gee, it looked good though, the setup, the outside in.
Yeah, look, Warren, you and I were right in line with that one. And as much as you don't want to disagree with any of the officials, geez, it was a touch and go one.
Well, it was touch and go, but the other thing, you want to see an inventive play like that work.
Yeah.
You sort of want it to work.
That's right.
But there's a nice piece of work before that by Marcus Spence with a good hit up, and they've got the defence going backwards, and then they're just coming at them.
Yeah, and in numbers too, like I say, the defence is looking at 2 and 3 every time.
And this is the sort of game Corey McGrady just loves.
Doesn't he?
Retreating defence.
Just loves it.
So putting the ball into the scrum here, Gerara Semple for John Kemp. And they're kicking late in the half. Christian Bond puts it on the toe, but he might regret it now. And look at the speed out wide here from, was that Kelly on the far side now? The kick ahead, anybody's ball. This is a foot race. Luckily for John Kemp, they get the bounce. And taking it to ground there, I think it's Jacob Short, but he could hear the footsteps of half a dozen Coastal Blacks coming behind him. If he didn't get that bounce, he was in all sorts of trouble.
Yeah, I wasn't more so watching whether he was going to get it. I was actually watching who was on the fly coming through.
I know, it was like watching a 100-metre sprint.
That's right.
They were all coming at speed. So that's half-time. And it's a very handy lead for the Coastal Blacks over John Kemp Memorial. At 26 points to 4, they scored a heap of tries. I'll just run through them. Kwan Wang scored the first, followed by Brett Kelly to take it out to 10-0 with conversion. Then Zach Miles scoring the next try for the Coastal Blacks, 16-0. Jacob Kemp on the back of a very handy grubber kick scored for John Kemp. And then we saw William Baker, after a quick play, the ball race in for a try, and then the intercept by Kwan Wang. So that's the story of the first half. It's 26 points to 4.
Alrighty, so we're back here with the second half. Down here on field 3. As Warren stated earlier, the fields are looking immaculate out here at the South Pine Road Sporting Complex. If you're sitting at home and you're not doing too much today, why don't you pop on down here at Brendale. We're about to get into the second half here between the Coastal Blacks, who have a pretty handy lead at half-time against the John Kemp Memorial side, who I believe are mainly from Ipswich. Players and the families from Ipswich. As you see the teams left to right, you have the Memorial side in the black jerseys there. They kind of look like the Penrith Panthers old strip, as Warren was saying earlier, and the Coastal Blacks are in the blue strip on the right-hand side. As we are just about to get underway, Jacob Short's about to take the kickoff.
And the Queensland Murray Carnival brought to you by a number of very supportive sponsors, but under the auspices of the Arthur Beetson Foundation.
Yeah, and we appreciate all the sponsors that get on board. These carnivals wouldn't be what they were and are without these sponsors. And we're here all week. We've got the juniors kicking off next Wednesday. The little fellas, on the Sunday, and then the 14s to 18s on the Wednesday. As Fred Pitt takes another strong hit up through the middle there.
And they keep it going with Trevor Bolt. 10 short of halfway. A couple of the forwards working together, making good ground.
That's a great run there, Barry Tapau.
And now they work it to the right with a long pass that started in that direction. Trevor Bolt calling the shots on the right side. Here he goes back and picks it up. That pass that went nowhere, able to be regathered by the Coastal Blacks in the mainly blue jerseys. And John Kemp Memorial from Ipswich on the left of your screen in those Penrith-like jerseys. The kick just over the fingertips, but no damage done. And bringing it back now is Regan Orlando. And he kicks straight through the line, comes to the fullback. Great tackle made there at the back. Is that Bolt?
Yeah,
that was Bolt made the tackle. Trevor.
And there we see young Brock Compton there, shooting out a dummy half.
That was a tremendous run, though, by Regan Orlando.
Oh, another strong contact there. Shillingsworth.
We've seen some absolutely brilliant individual runs in this match, starting in the first half with Zach Miles, one of the best.
Yeah, so as we see the Memorial side here, trying to get to a kick, and there it is.
Up high, Chase is coming through. Who's going to win the jump? It's Miles.
It's that man, Miles.
He's tall enough and committed underneath that one. Kwan Awang. Double try score. He could be on his way to a triple if they can't catch him. Cuts away from the winger, shoves the fend in his face. Finally brought down 10 metres out. Wonderful run from Kwan Awang. Now will they spread it? Yes, they will. Through the hands of McGrady. They keep it going. There's Miles. Cuts back inside. Grubbers for himself. He's full of confidence. And he goes to the line. And no, held up. Held up there. Zach Miles might have just bitten off more than he could chew that time. Could have gone to his wing.
Yeah, look, he had a bit of an overlap there. But, when you're Zach Miles and you're full of confidence, what do you do?
So they might score it nevertheless as they quickly shift it to the right. Long passes. Desperate defence comes at them and holds them out, and in the end it's been lost. So great scramble there from the John Kemp Memorial to hold out the Coastal Blacks.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when the break was made there, it was, could have been easy enough to, not look for some intensity in defence there, but good work. They held them out there, and now they've got to try to work it out from their 10. Yeah,
it's at the wrong end of the field for the John Kemp Memorial, but better than standing behind your posts.
Yeah, 100%. And the more times they can do that, obviously they'll benefit from that and get a bit of confidence in defence as well.
Yeah, and who knows, at this stage of the competition, you wouldn't know for sure who is going to be the standout team. They could be playing in the Coastal Blacks, a team who are going to go all the way to the grand final. So John Kemp they have to think that, never know, next game it might be a little bit easier. So they want to build on their combinations and, as you say, confidence.
Yeah, look, I think that scramble was good, considering the scoreboard, like I say.
Well, they got there. 3 of them got there.
That's right.
Here they go again. John Kemp, lovely play pass.
Here we go.
And here's a streak down the sideline for Regan Orlando. Can he go all the way? He sees Miles coming, kicks back infield. Racing for the ball is Mark Waters. Can he get there? He can.
Oh,
what a try.
try.
What a try.
Oh, and as it was all started here down the short side by young Brock Compton there. He just drifts along to the right-hand side, draws the defender in. Beautiful ball there, and then off to the winger. Now, the winger... Dad said he still had a little bit of work to do there, Warren. He was still a little bit of the way out, and he had a fullback coming at him and a winger chasing him.
Regan Orlando it was.
Yeah, and he just, nice little grubber inside, and great backing up there. Great backing up. Mark Waters scores one.
And this is why people love to watch the Murray Carnival, because it doesn't get more exciting. Some of the action, like they will back attack anytime.
Yeah, look, and that's the thing about the QMCs. 1 minute you're defending, and the next minute you're down the other end. And that's what I'm liking at the moment from the Memorial side. They're scrambling. And all of a sudden, as I said, that young fella Compton just comes down the right-hand side here with a beautiful short ball. He's injected some things there, Compton. I've been watching him just in the background there, and he's a great young player.
Well, they score the first try of the second half, so it suddenly gets just a little bit more interesting. And from near the posts, the kick is landed. Jacob Short puts it over. So 26 points to 10. Plenty of time left in the game. If the John Kemp Memorial can keep a bit more possession and turn on the action like that, they are not out of this trailing by 16 points.
Yeah, and as we've seen, both sides going to the edges, and they're both exploiting each other on the edges. So it's great for the viewers at home. It's wonderful rugby league, and it's definitely great for you and I sitting up here because it's a wonderful game to commentate.
Very exciting.
Game 1. Doesn't get any better, does it?
So a high kick-off and a good completed set here with a kick on the end of it would be a really put it towards a really interesting scenario. If John Kemp can just show a bit of authority here in this set, and suddenly the Coastal Blacks, we think we haven't got this all our own way. Yeah,
they started well, the Coastal Blacks. But yeah, in the old Murray Carnival, you can never say die, and that's the thing about it.
Well, you can imagine when Zach Miles made that run and then they had 2 shots at the line and were denied, they probably would have thought, well, we're home and host if they scored there. But that defence that you talked about, that tremendous desperation, just keeps the John Kemp team in the game where this bounce doesn't over the sideline. It just stood up and kicked forward.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he made Pitt put the wheels on there because Pitt had to cover that up. He's looking dangerous out here, Regan Orlando on the wing. He's a skinny type winger, but you got to keep an eye on him.
And I think that was Christian Bond with the little chip over the top. An adventurous play. Didn't quite come off, unfortunately.
Yeah, it looked like come off the side of the boot a bit.
Now, Coastal Blacks get on the front foot here with a run from dummy half by Harry Freeburn. No one more accomplished on the field than him. And here's Miles joining in, steps off his right, beats 2, goes again, beats 3 and 4 off that right foot. It's lethal, goes again, straightens up off the left, going for the line. Zach Miles so close, and he's there. He puts another brilliant run back-to-back with what he produced in the first half and the start of the second half. He is on fire, Zach Miles. Well, you can count the number of people he beat, but he steps off both feet.
Oh, yeah, he's just so hard to defend. And he's obviously aware of that. Left and right. You don't know which way he's going to go. Very, very, very elusive. Looking like he's going to be a very dangerous player for the Coastal Blacks throughout this carnival.
Well, the way he steps off both feet, you could compare him to Kalen Ponga.
Oh, yeah, like I say, if you're in the defensive line, he's coming at you. And if the bloke beside you's not, committed as you are, and you're not going up in numbers, he's going to just do exactly what he did there, and he had him at 6s and 7s.
Yeah, a brilliant run. Absolutely brilliant. When he started that run, you thought, well, they'll round him up. Okay, he beat the first one, but you thought he'll run into defence on the inside. But he just kept showing him his tail.
Yeah, and the thing about it, Warren, was there was nothing happening out wide there, and he'd assessed that. And he thought, I'll come back inside and see if I can snuff out something, and snuff it out he did.
So now Jerome Haynes is taking this kick after most of the kicking in the first half was done by Awang. Jerome Haynes should have no trouble with this. And the flags are in the air, and the score is 32-10 in favour of the Coastal Blacks. So they're back on top the way they were in the first half. Yeah,
it took them a little while, but they are back now. And like I said, there was not much really doing out there, and just a great player, Miles, and other teams that are going to play against this Coastal Blacks team certainly need to watch him and others in the back line.
Well, it just shows you the standard of the Q Cup too. When Zach Miles, he's just outstanding here. Oh, that was lucky.
That was very lucky.
No one called for the ball. But, when Zach Miles is outstanding here, as we've seen, playing for the Sunshine Coast in the Q Cup. He's a good player, but he doesn't stand out the way he does here. Just shows the higher the levels you go, you meet better and better defence as well as attack.
Yeah, that's right. And McGrady here, just a nice little inside ball here as they come up through the middle.
It just compacts the defence a little as they have to come in on him. And to the line, dummy through, offload, forward, yes.
Yeah.
I think we'd have to agree with the referee there.
I have to agree. The 18 there, Ben Gunn, he sliced through, and we could see the ball popping out of his hand as he went to pass. So
it was a good run. I think
as he has a conversation with the referee there, and he says, "You got me. All right, you got me."
He hit the line, and it looked as if they were going to hang on to him, and then he popped out the other side, and I think he almost surprised himself. Thought, well, now I'll offload, and right on his shoulder was Barry Carr.
Yeah, he did everything he was supposed to. It just popped out on him.
So John Kemp with the scrum feed and going across field, throwing the pass, Jaden Kemp.
Yeah, he's looked busy out there, Jaden. I'm not too sure whether he's the captain of the side, but he's definitely he's been busy, Yeah,
he got into dummy half there for that run.
Yeah.
He had John Blair on the previous play going with him.
Here we go.
This is Calvin Swan, injected from the bench.
Yeah.
And lead runner goes through. A bit of shape. Oh, it's lost out the back. Here's a problem for the John Kemp. And racing downfield, and he can go all the way if he wants to, is Jerome Haynes. Instead, sprinting for the corner and taking it all the way is Fred Pitt, your man.
Yeah, look, he was great last year, Fred. I definitely remember him playing. Can finish a try off, no issues at all, Fred Pitt. And I tell you what, even with the headset on here, I could hear him screaming for that ball because he loves to score a try, does Fred Pitt.
Well, it's funny you say that because I thought Jerome Haynes really could have gone himself. But I guess if you've got someone begging you for the ball and screaming at you, you think, all right, I'll give it to him just in case.
Yeah, just in case. You never know. He might be holding the lunches later, and Fred might accidentally forget him if he doesn't get that ball to him, Yeah.
It was unfortunate for John Kemp. I think it was Brock Compton, thought he had a bit of a chance. The ball went down.
Yeah, I think the ball actually, Brock, I don't think he was expecting it actually. He was in a gap there. If he'd have caught it, but maybe they had a play sorted there, he thought it might have been going out the back there, but
they set up the play, didn't they, because they had a lead runner went through, they had a bit of shape on the right hand side.
Correct, there was a bit of shape there, so unfortunately the ball went to ground, and who'd we have there? Jerome just scooped that up and away he went, and like I said, Fred looked like he was screaming for the ball there, so he got it out as Jerome lines it up here now to take the kick. He's handed the kicking duties over.
Yeah, so Haynes has been kicking pretty well since he took over from Awang, and that's right over there's no black dot, but if there was, it would have been right over it. Perfect kick.
Yeah.
And now 38 points to 10, so opportunity for the Coastal Blacks to give everybody a run. You've got to think long term in this tournament. It's not all about winning the first game. It's about having energy in the legs come Sunday if you make the grand final.
Yeah, correct. And, I hope that hasn't got the Memorial side too disheartened. I hope they can just keep going through the motions here and make the Coastal Blacks get to a set and kick.
Well, that's 2 or 3 tries where they've looked promising in attack, but it's broken down, and the counter-attack has come immediately from the Coastal Blacks, and they've turned it into tries. Could have been different. Oh, this is a great run from Barry Carr.
Yeah.
Big, strong run. Player in the ruck has to be penalised.
Yeah. I don't think the Coastal Blacks has had many penalties. It hasn't necessarily been a game where there's been a lot of penalties, Warren. We've had the forward passes, but I don't think there's been, too many. Sometimes the referee comes in and blows a few penalties.
Yeah, no, not too many. And I think that time Blake Thompson was caught behind the ruck, and any time it's a penalty, fair enough. But I think the Coastal Blacks were on the attack. They would have been just as happy to keep going.
That's right.
But you can't. Yeah, it was definitely a penalty. Now they're going to be told to come back here.
Yeah.
And do it right. And you see there just Jerome Haynes with his hands out in front, poised and ready to go, and then get that pass away quickly.
Yeah, it's the first time I've seen Jerome play, I think. Pretty impressive. I know last year they went with the McGrady and the Jeffrey Boy-Nielsen combination in the halves.
So here's a dummying, shimmying run, and still going too is Mick Taylor. Still going, Mick Taylor. Mick Taylor, can he go all the way? He finds the support, gets the pass away.
Oh,
great defence, holds him back.
Yeah, good
They're
call.
under pressure here out on the left. There's no one there. They're calling for players. Send the cavalry. It's not going to matter. Didn't need to use those 3 or 4 players out on the left wing there. The Coastal Blacks, they're in.
Yeah, look, in the end there, they end up having, I think, a 4-man overlap there. Extremely hot conditions here this morning. And when you've got this much attack coming at you all the time, it's tough, It's really, really tough. And I think the Memorial side's done pretty good for their first game here this morning.
Just couldn't quite pick up who scored the try. It might have been Justin Shillingsworth.
It was, I know he had he's got the hands on the hips over there with the rat's tail there. Is that number 19, is it? Barry
Carr.
Yeah.
Who's put in a couple of really good runs.
Yeah, I think that's who it was.
Was it? Yeah, there was a pack of players around and couldn't quite pick that one up. Another good team try though.
Yeah, like I say, they look pretty handy early on, Coastal Blacks. Game 1, and as you say, Warren, you really want to make sure you get that game 1 victory. And as they go to their bench and they keep rotating their players, trying to keep them fresh for this carnival. As we see Jerome again lining another kick up.
It's almost the same spot as the previous kick after the pit try.
Yeah.
So if he can repeat the dose, swings it back in, and another 2 points added, and now we're into the 40s. That is 44-10 in favour of the Coastal Blacks, and for and against is important.
Yeah, it certainly is. Especially when you win or lose those close games by under 6 points. Having a game like this where you pile on a few points is one of those things that could get you, a couple of spots up the ladder, come to top 16,
And if you finish 17th rather than 16th, you'd wish you scored another try somewhere a few rounds earlier.
Yeah, that's right. Anybody new that's watching the coverage here, so the QMC is a round robin competition where the teams play and then they end up with a top 16 scenario, and then they go in the knockouts after that. A little bit different to the other traditional knockouts.
So top 16 for the men, top 8 for the women.
Yeah.
And 3 days of action in the senior event for the Carnival. Look out, winding up and coming at them hard.
I think that was Marcus Spence, maybe.
And
Oh,
no backing off, no relief at all for the John Kemp team as they come out there and up 10 short of halfway already. Nice little play back inside. Smart work by
knocked it on.
Ben Gunn that was.
Knocked it on. It looked like he was going for that little offload that he likes to do, Gunn. But that time it was a knock on as he puts the hand up and says, sorry, boys.
Yeah, he sort of shaped a pass. He had a bit of a hit and spin in it as well. There was plenty going on, and then the ball comes loose.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, Coastal Blacks took them 3 tackles to be back to halfway with just powerhouse running through the middle.
Yeah, off the kickoff, that was great. Very strong.
Oh, bad pass from the scrum base. And
they've done it again.
Hoiking it downfield. Heath Smith puts the boot on it. Zach Miles is going back, but this is going to go... No, not dead. He picks it up. Can he run 110 metres? It's not impossible for this man. Zach Miles, he's over the 20. He's over the 30. Gets the pass away. And backing him up there was Brodie Green.
I think a bit of a unusual play there off the scrum, kicking it again on the first.
But they're away down the right wing, and they're going to go all the way. A couple of flat passes, quickly exploiting the overlap on the short side, and scoring again.
Yeah, is Brett Kelly.
Brett Kelly, who did it in the first half down that right wing in the opposite direction. Very good finish from Brett Kelly.
Yeah, so as we've seen here, plenty of tries. The Coastal Blacks can just score them from anywhere on the field. That man, Zach Miles, as you said, it wasn't impossible for him to run 110 metres. That time he opted to go for the pass. He passed it on to Green there, the big front rower, and then he had the awareness then to tip it on to Kelly. And when you've got front rowers that, got a bit of a passing game in there, Arsenal, very dangerous.
Yeah, there's a bit of everything in this Coastal Blacks team. I'm going to be very interested to see how far they go in the competition. But on this performance, they immediately become one of the favourites at the very least.
Yeah, they certainly looked they look sharp in all sorts of areas of the game. As Jerome lines up another kick here on the other side.
Well, it's handy for the Coastal Blacks as well that they've got 2 good kickers. First half we saw Awang land all the ones that he should have, a couple of misses from difficult angles, and now Haynes in the second half has kicked everything that he should kick as well. And there's another one. So they are now 50-point winners, 50 points to 10. So from 26 to 4 at half time, and then remembering that the first try of the second half was scored by the John Kemp Memorial, got it back to 26-10, but now they've accelerated away again, 50 points to 10, so they've added another 24 points since then.
Yeah, pretty consistent there from the Coastal Blacks if you look at it in that sense. 26 at half time, and then they put on another 24. We've still got a few minutes left, I think, in the second half as well.
Yeah, second half tries for the Coastal Blacks to Miles, Pitt, and Kelly. And who was it you thought it was? That other one.
Oh, the winger, Kelly on the other side. Oh, no, yeah, it was, I thought it was...
Barry Carr?
Yeah, with
Barry
the Rat's tail, yeah, Barry Carr, yeah.
So we'll just have to confirm that later, but there's a plethora of try scorers for the Coastal Blacks.
Yeah.
That's a big word for the day.
That is the big word for the day.
There'll be a test later.
Here we go.
Hey, short kick off and well gathered in by Dylan Haugrego. Short kick was a good one.
I'm glad you looked down and had a look at his surname, because I had a look at it before and I thought, geez, I don't know about this one.
Well, he's made his mark.
He has.
Following that through nicely. So John Kemp, the story of their day really has been looking promising and then breaking down in attack too often. Can they put together a good set of 6 here with a bit of polish on the finish? Here's Haugrego again.
Yeah, geez, he's been busy since he's come on.
He wants a bit more action. Kick ahead, a bit premature. Was it from Hayden Kemp or will it come off? Yeah, that didn't quite work.
No, not quite.
Was it Hayden Kemp? I might have had the wrong player there
Here
too.
goes Pitt.
And look at him go. Oh, he loses
hello.
it. And
Here we go.
into the hands of Heath Smith. He kicks ahead on the first. Doesn't get it. It's over the sideline. They'll get it back anyway. It's coming across in cover defence. That was Shillingsworth. And that is full time. Full time in a wonderful display to open their campaign at the Queensland Murray Carnival by the Coastal Blacks. They have defeated the John Kemp Memorial by 50 points to 10. And, well, we have to name a 3, 2 and 1. And, well, I know one thing. We'll consider our verdict, but Zach Miles will be one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. He had a great game along with Ah Wang. I think he's got to be mentioned there as well.
Yeah, it's a great display by the Coastal Blacks and plenty of grit at times from the John Kemp Memorial. Just need a bit more polish on their attack, I'd say.
Yeah, and I guess, like I said, when you're behind on the scoreboard, you kind of do things that probably aren't in the game plan. As we saw a couple of kicks there on the first the scrum, probably a little bit unorthodox. But like I say, when you're behind on the scoreboard, I guess you're playing that catch-up footy, I guess.
They certainly never threw the towel in. So good performance. The referees are going to get a drink of water, and we'll be back shortly on Field 3 with more action at the Queensland Murray Carnival of 2024.
Someone get that touchy a hat too.
Please. I'll lend him one.
Please, yeah, I'll give him mine.
Good on you. Ray Nagus and Warren Boland bring you the action on the first game of the Queensland Murray Carnival. More to come.